Hi again, it's Sarah. So, I said I wouldn't make a knitting video, but I guess I will because the cat, I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong, but I'm really bad at pronunciation. So, made a crochet video to go along with her knitting video. So I will be making a knitting video as well. I'm actually working on my first pair of socks. I was going to try and be done with the ribbing, but I guess I can do another row of ribbing because it never hurts. I've never made socks before. This is actually the most intense thing I've ever knitted. But that's because I don't like scarves, and I don't like hats, and I hate DPNs, so I'm using a size 0 circular with DK weight baby yarn, if I could ever get it untwisted. Excuse me. So I'm just doing a knit knit purl purl. I think the pattern I'm using is I want to say the Afterthought heel sock pattern on Ravelry. I may be very, very wrong. I honestly don't remember what I was using, but the pattern called for 4 DPNs, 4 to 5 depending on the size, and I tried that and I snapped one of my set of 5 in half because it was stressful and I couldn't figure it out. So I switched to a single circular. I'm going to try to get up close. See, I kind of tension my yarn the same as when I'm crocheting, except I do an extra wrap to get it a bit more tense for the first stitch so I don't have laddering, because that happens to me because I'm special like that. So, yeah. Ooh. So, here I'm knit. If I can get it in a second time. Knit. And then I kind of do something weird with my thumb when I'm purling. I'll either untwist my yarn and I will stick my thumb out like this when I purl, or I'll leave it wrapped still and I'll stick my thumb out. Because being left-handed, my thumb really likes to get in the way and pretend it's actually doing stuff. So I move my hand out of the way while I'm purling, and I kind of try to shove my yarn in and do lots of things at once, and then I have a really tough time with my purling because I only just learned how to do it. But I kind of wrap a lot, and then I hold with my nail my new yarn, and I kind of make my loop almost completely vertical. And I pull off and I do the thumb thing again, and I have weird methods. Every video I've watched basically to make socks, because this is something I really want to try, basically only showed either how to do it on DPNs if it's a really simple pattern, or it showed like 2 circular needles, and these are Addies, and so they're not the cheapest needles. They're size 0 sock rockets, and I only got them because I was at Stitches and they were 0s, and I got to see my favorite yarn booth. Well, from one of my favorite yarn stores. Anyway, beside the point. I would not have gotten these if they weren't less expensive than the other yarn store I visit. So, yeah, I'm going to go again, but this time I'm not going to say anything, so, or at least not to the camera. Knit. Knit. Oh yeah, when I do a knit, instead of, putting it through and going over, I forget where my camera is, instead of going over and pulling through, I kind of pick up the yarn with the back, so I like push the yarn away from me, if that makes sense. I push it like that when I pull it through. It makes it a lot easier for me to get to it. And it also makes it a bit faster if I'm just sitting here on my own, knitting and trying to get the rows done. It's a really thin, for me it's a really thin yarn and a really small needle, but I have tiny hands, so it works for me. Yeah, and there's the bit of progress on my sock. I was actually really, really excited when I started seeing actual, like, knits and purls stitch definition. It isn't the like the stretchiest yarn, so it's definitely gonna fall off a lot, but you can see like my knits and purls, and it's kind of exciting for me because I'm definitely not a knitter. I've only been knitting on Ravelry. It says I've been knitting for about a year, which really isn't true. I bought my first set of knitting needles about a year ago, but I've really only been seriously trying to knit since I joined my knitting group about a month and a half ago. I've actually been working a lot on finishing up crochet projects like that blanket and a sweater I've been working on and a couple of other things, but this is something that was really big for me and really special. So this is my first real knit project. I started a scarf even though I knew I hated scarves. I hate crocheting scarves, I hate knitting scarves. I started with a scarf doing just straight garter stitch, and it was the most boring thing in the world, and it would never get bigger. I swear I've been working on that thing for I don't know how many hours, but I still only have about this much of the scarf done, and I basically just given up. But shh, don't tell my friend that, because it was supposed to be a present for him. I may just cast off and frame it and tell him, Happy Merry Christmas, this is your scarf, I hope you like it. So that's all for now. I hope you guys liked my video. Love you guys, LSG. Okay, bye!